And now, before we are breaking for lunch, we were left with one corporate presentation by Harrison Assessment India. Dr. Shubhakar Gajula, the Director, Organisational Psychologist from Harrison Assessment India. Can we have her on stage, please? A big, huge round of applause. This would be probably 15 minutes of presentation.
Guests to clap of hands. One more time. You can be seated. Thank you. So before we get into this, and then don't want to hold you for the lunch, one question from my side. Can I ask? Yes? Okay. Think about the best boss you ever had. Think about it. Think about it. Think about the best boss you ever had. What comes to your mind? If your boss is next to you, you want to speak, you can speak. You want to zip, you can. What comes to your mind? The best boss you ever had? A good smile? Okay. What else? The best boss you ever had? No thoughts about your boss? The best boss. Had a great learning from him? Okay. Yeah. So you feel safe with that person? Okay, but another twist, another question to that. Were they always supportive? No. Were they always demanding? No. But there was something very unique about them that you still feel that this is my best boss. They knew when to push you, and they also knew when to protect you. They know about when to listen to you and when to decide. They know or they knew about how much to listen to you and how much to protect you. Do you agree? Yes? And that's the reason, probably even after many years or few years, you still remember that this is my best boss I ever had. Now the HR dilemma, we're all representing HR dilemma, and nobody has said that that was the best boss because of the technology. That was the best boss because of the AI. That was the best boss because of some policies. It was more a human touch. Agreed? Now, when we look at this HR dilemma so many times that I deal with a lot of leaders across multiple organizations, and this is something that I continuously keep hearing from the leaders. You want the leaders to be authentic, and you also want the leaders to be adapting. You want the leaders to be consistent, and you also want the leaders to be agile. You want the leaders to empower people, but you also want accountability. You want leaders to innovate, and you also want the leaders to care for people. When organizations talk about a strong trait, maybe my empowerment, or maybe my accountability, maybe my leadership style. But have you heard about a strong trait becoming a derailer? Yes, no? Can my strong trait become a derailer? Yes, no? Now think about a simple aspect as a communication. Now you think about any person, or any leader that you have in your mind, or any person, probably from your family, you might have known, when, if you want to classify people in the communication, we think people, when in our head, the moment we think about their style of communication, do we say that this person is direct, or we classify this person is very tactful? Yes? We have two categories of people that we try to classify. We have people who are very direct, we have people who are very tactful. Now imagine this situation, if somebody is extremely tactful without having a diplomacy, or extremely direct without having a diplomacy or tactfulness, how do you consider the person? Or if that is your boss, extremely direct. I see a lot of smiles, grim smiles on faces. Extremely direct without having tactfulness. How would you feel about that person? Sorry? Good and bad? Rude, not good. Rude and bad. Okay. What else? Any other thoughts? Somebody who is very direct to you, जो यहाँ पे आता है वो सीधा सीधा बोलना है. But the over preference to that, I'm so direct. If that's my style of communicating, I'm very direct. How do you feel about the person? Emotionless, rude. Being direct is nice. Like sometimes you be direct, it is very nice. It gets the point across. But my over preference to directness, my directness is actually getting replaced with rudeness, with emotionless, with bluntness, with harshness, which may be a derailing element. Or assume another individual who is extremely tactful. The person is extremely tactful with a not much preference on directness. How will that person come across? Sorry? Insensitive. Not a sincere person. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Right. Correct. Right. There has to be a balance, and sir says it's a trust issue and it's a sincerity issue. Being tactful is nice, right? I don't want to hurt you, so I'm being very nice to you. But my tactful nature, because I'm preferring so much without having my directness, can be seen as somebody who is not sincere, somebody who cannot be trusted. बस सीधा सीधा बोलो ना, घुमा फिरा के क्या बोल रहे हो? सीधा सीधा बोलो क्या चाहिए, सीधा सीधा बोलो क्या करना है. Now, both is what we get in our head. My strong trait, my being frankness is my strong trait. Being tactful is my strong trait. But when I'm over depending on that without having a balance to that, that's going to be my derailing element. My frankness without diplomacy is making the other person feel that I'm blunt. My diplomacy without being frankness is making another person being seen as somebody who is evasive. Now, what we do with Harrison, with Paradoxical Leadership, is trying to help the organization from the last 40 plus years on how these traits, the seemingly opposite traits, can actually complement each other. We may start thinking, how can a person be direct and also diplomatic? And lot of times when we classify people in our head, we try to put them either direct or either diplomatic. We only think about a either or relationship between these two traits. But what we talk about helping organizations and especially helping a lot of senior leaders is how this balance between the traits can help the person transform their style of approach in different paradoxes. It's not just about one paradox, because behavior is never an isolation. Do you agree? It's always a combination. I put my effort in one element that's going to impact me into multiple other things. And yeah, this is what I wanted to show you earlier, wherein organizations see this. You want a leader who is decisive, but he becomes authoritarian. And a lot of these things where the problem is not about the strength. I have my strength. But the problem is, if I don't understand and if I don't know where my strong trait is actually started getting to become a derailing element. And that's something that we try to help the organizations see how these seemingly opposite traits can also complement each other. So the way we do it, when I was talking about this particular thing on the communication where somebody is frank and also diplomatic, somebody is very direct. Probably in this example that you see, the person is so direct. My preference to frankness is about 9, but my diplomacy preference is about a 3.9, because I'm over preferring to something. There's always the tendency that others will perceive me as something blunt, which may derail a lot of team cohesions. Same thing, even if I'm somebody who prefers to be diplomatic more, with low frankness, that may derail me because others gonna perceive me as somebody who is evasive. Nothing wrong about me, but the way things go out is gonna put things in a different perspective from the leadership context. So what we do, try to help the organization, try to help the individual, because it's the individual or the leader who represents the organization. It's me representing Harrison, or it's you representing your organization. So my image about your organization is my image about you. Do you agree? And here we are going to help the individual how my strong traits can have unintended consequences, and how the balance between these two strong traits are going to give me a genuine strength where I can use both the traits. Now, the way it comes in, you complete a 30 minutes online questionnaire, and then we'll be able to give you that report on paradox, which is going to give an insight into 12 different paradoxes that can be seen from interpersonal perspective, that can be seen from achievement perspective, or a leadership or strategic perspective. That's the report, that's the diagnostic. It is something like, yeah, I go to a diagnostic center, give a sample of the blood, I know what's my blood report is all about. And we might have done that multiple times going to a diagnostic center. Next, what is the question, right, that any leader has? What next? I get my report, my RBC count is low. What next? Tear the report, throw it away. I can do that, correct? Report is wrong. Diagnostic center is wrong. I mean, nothing can change unless until I accept that, okay, this is what it is. Then I try to align. Boss, okay, RBC come hai, to kya kya खाना hai, kya kya पीना hai, what to avoid, what not to avoid, and all that. And here, man, there's going to be a diagnostic report that's going to come up. And then we continue with a journey that we call as a paradox navigator. It's a digital leadership transformation journey. So when the earlier panelist was talking about the people using technology to be transformed, and that's where it is. That's how it works. Each leader will get an access to the navigator, wherein the system itself will debrief. It is not AI. I'm proud to say this is not an AI thing. It is a typical psychological tool, and everything is handwritten, which is transformed using technology, but not an AI thing, wherein the system is going to guide people on how to do the transformation journey. And if you want to learn more about it, get your own profile, complimentary, no cost for people who are into this room. You can contact any one of us, or there are foam boards with QR code. You can scan the QR and then you can complete the assessment. So I want to end with here. Don't want to take much time. There's already something flashing there. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Enough ho gaya karke. So I want to stop it here, and over to the MC here. Yes, sir. Please.
That team is more satisfied, or the business performance is increased because of being in the top quadrant.
Yes.
Have you done a study which shows that being in the top quadrant helps A in terms of team being more satisfied over a period of time, or the business performance improving over a period of time?
Yes. We don't do it in isolation, sir. These paradoxes are taken in combination. So if the MC allows, I'll give one example. Am I allowed, ma'am?
Yeah, I mean, I am nobody to allow anyone, but it's just that,
All right.
I'm myself having so much of pressure
Okay.
right now. Yeah,
So
please carry
the
on.
thing now, assume a person, imagine a person, you can visualize this person who is extremely direct, okay, who is extremely assertive, who is extremely certain, and who is extremely enforcing. I mean maybe about 9.9 and above on those traits. High certainty, high frankness, high assertive, high enforcing. How will the person come across? Sorry? Madman. Blunt. Okay? Very autocratic, right? Very Hitler kind of a person. Now add to this a risking element, very high on risking. What's going to happen to business? Or imagine another extreme. If somebody is very high on open reflective, very high on open reflective, very diplomatic, very helpful, very warm, empathetic. How will this person come across? Taken for granted. Now, if I'm one way, you're saying business is going to go down. If I'm the other way, business is still going to go other down. So what do I do? What we help the organizations or the leaders is try to give them an insight, work with them. It's a journey which goes on for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, to help them understand what are the potential benefits of a trait, what are the potential unintended consequences of another trait, and how the balance can help. If I'm somebody who is 3.9, that was actually my profile, okay? Where 9 point something on frank and 3 point something on frank on diplomacy. That's actual my profile. Can I change overnight to become extremely diplomatic? No way. I'm like this for the 40 plus years. What are you telling me overnight to change? Cannot happen. But can I be aware about it? Yes. Can I get an acceptance in my head? Maybe yes. Can I align to my objective? Like, okay, if I start working on this now, probably today, if I be very conscious and start working on this, maybe after 6 months, from 3.9, I may move to 4.9, which is a great. Because once I move that, I'm going to change and have impact on multiple other areas, not just in diplomacy. So that awareness, that journey is what we do for organizations, first-time managers, senior leaders across different companies. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to call upon Sammy Alum, the co-founder CTO. Please come, sir, on stage and felicitate Dr. Shubhakar Gajula ji. And I want to compliment you. You can actually try doing emceeing as well. He's really great at what he does. Great hearing you out. A big round of applause, guys. So with this, I would like to request that we are taking a pause for lunch, and I request each one of you to be back by 2:30.